This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by Jack Massey here in London. Media rounds for you today. Better Be Ever versus before you take on Jai Opetaia. It's a massive opportunity for you, isn't it?
Huge opportunity. It doesn't get bigger than this, and I know it, and I've got to take this opportunity and do the best I can and come out with that world title.
I remember when I last interviewed you over Zoom. I think this was just after the Isaac Chamberlain fight, and I remember you saying that you'd like to fight Chris Smith. Did you ever expect it to be Jai Opetaia?
No, we it got talked about, and it was one of them. I sort of thought, this fight. I think it was the same week when Smith said he wanted more time. So my name popped up, and I knew it would be quite easily made because I know Jai. If someone's there who wants to fight but can't fight, he just wants to get in there and fight basically, and I knew it would be easily made, and yeah, it happened, and yeah, absolutely buzzing about it.
And what are you expecting from Jai Opetaia on the night?
I know he's the best in the division, I believe. He's the top of the top, and I know he's got a very, very good skill set. He can punch, and he's a southpaw. But I'm more than confident in getting in there and beating him. It's going to be a tough night. I know that. I'm not daft, but I can weather the storm, and I believe I'm more than confident in beating.
And it was quite the whirlwind for you when this fight got announced. I'm sure it got announced, was it like the day before you got married?
Yeah, 2 days before. So it had been in talks before that. So we was training towards this fight, and then it sort of got nailed in concrete. I think it was two days before the wedding. So yeah, but it was one of them. I was fit and ready before the wedding. Been in camp anyway. So it was just a case of Joe said, "Listen, have a little pit stop, enjoy your wedding, and then we'll get straight back to it afterwards."
So how much time was there between the wedding and you getting back into training camp, into the swing of things properly? Okay, so picking up where we left off before my memory card filled up. Jack, you mentioned obviously the fight being talked about before the wedding, but how much time was there between the wedding and then you getting yourself back into training camp properly?
Yeah, so the wedding was on a Thursday, and it was pretty much straight back to training. We did a bit of the weekend and then straight back to it on the Monday. So Honeymoon postponed. Gonna do that after the fight, but it's we can enjoy it and have a bit of a better one. So yeah, looking forward to that. But obviously we've got the fight to look forward to first.
Could potentially do the honeymoon in Riyadh with a nice sort of world title around your waist?
Possibly. We'll see. I've not been out there yet, so we'll definitely stay over there a little bit afterwards and enjoy ourselves over there. But yeah.
Do you feel you're being overlooked a little bit in this fight? Because a lot of the talk is still about Opetaia versus Chris Smith. Obviously, Smith was in attendance yesterday as well. Do you feel that a lot of people in boxing are overlooking you in this fight?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely people are overlooking me, but I think the people that know the boxing know that it's not just going to be a rollover fight for Opetaia. He's got a very, very tough night in there with me, and I'm going to ask him questions he's never had before, and I'm confident going into this fight. But yeah, I've been overlooked before, and proved everyone wrong. It happens, and it's the season for upsets. Big upset last weekend with Joshua and Dubois, and these things happen. So people got to take that into account.
Well, you mentioned Joshua Dubois, which steers us nicely into what I do want to ask you about. We spoke before the fight again on Zoom, and I got your thoughts on it. And you said that I can't remember who you predicted. I think you believed Joshua was going to win, but there's one thing where you said you weren't too sure on his chin. Saturday night we saw Domination. I think that's the only way to describe Daniel Dubois' performance. When that fight was going on, when you're sat down watching it, what was going through your mind? What was your immediate thoughts?
Yeah, I said to a couple of my mates, I said I can just see Dubois catching him over the top with right hands, which he did twice to finish the fight. But what I didn't expect was Dubois sort of beating him in every aspect of the fight. He he was beating him. His boxing, his power, you know what I mean. He pretty much won every round. Knocked him down numerous times. I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting sort of a shot from nowhere to catch him not recover and finish the fight. But yeah, I wasn't expecting him to beat him in, you know, sort of every aspect.
One thing that a lot of people have been questioning is the instructions from Ben Davidson. I think it was going into the 5th round where he was telling him to roll the dice. Very early in the fight, while not going too great for them, I think too great is a bit of an overstatement, a bit of an understatement even. But what did you make of him telling Anthony Joshua to just roll the dice and essentially almost just seems like he wanted him to go for broke?
Yeah, it's one of them you can sort of say it's I don't know, it's a tough one. But the thing is, you know, Josh was the guy doing it. He was very his hands were very low during that fight, and you know there should have been more instructions on his defence and when he throws certain shots. You know, he's leading with an uppercut. You never lead with an uppercut. Throw it off a jab or a double jab or a feint or whatever. Never lead with it, and that's what, you know, these fine little mistakes. That's why he paid the price. I think the corner could have given him a little bit better advice on that side.
What do you believe the future holds now for Anthony Joshua?
I think he can come back. He's done it before. He's don't know what's going to happen with the rematch. Personally, you know, I like AJ. I met him yesterday. He's a lovely guy. But when it comes to rematches, you know, Daniel Dubois was the champion. You know, don't really believe in that. It was the same sort of thing with Dubois having to walk out first as well on fight night. I didn't really agree with that. You know, he is the champion. He should be walking out last. You know, just little things like that. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if AJ would want to rematch. I don't know if he wants to rebuild again. I think he should go and fight maybe possibly Joyce or someone like Wilder or Joyce, build himself back up and then come back and yeah, maybe look for the fight again with Dubois.
So you don't feel she should head straight into the immediate rematch?
I don't think so.
Fair enough. Well, Jack, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it as always. And best of luck October 12th in Riyadh.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.